How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
That's a general life philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish. Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm trying to give away $25,000. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. I am Preston Johnson. It is a good day. I am with my co-host and producer, Qwan Young. He's looking sharp over there on the side. He's buttoning up his nice shirt. Did you know you're the opposite of me? You actually change shirts before we do the show. You're usually like t-shirt guy. I'm usually t-shirt or hoodie. You change into the nice little polo, looking slick. I'm not sure if this is planned, if you're trying to, you're working like a modeling thing on the side. Your dentist? You're taking advice from a dentist. Okay.
No, I'm not taking advice from her. She told me I look like Lamont Sanford. So I'm running with it.
You're just going with it, the polos. It looks good. I like this one though. I like the multiple colors, kind of checkered out, but not checkered. I don't know how to explain it. Blocks. There you go. They're blocks. It's been good though. Life is good. Welcome as usual. Game Plus Network and the viewers tuning in from there. We are a show where we take your phone calls throughout the next hour. 661-515-BETS is the phone number, and we talk through your bets. Anything you like on today's card. We obviously have a huge game one in the NBA Finals between the Suns and the Bucks. Big MLB slate. If you like anything in the WNBA, whatever it may be, we had Euro Cup as well going. By the way, do we know if the caller yesterday won? I wasn't paying attention. I know you.
Italy over Spain.
Yeah. No dice?
Well, I think it just started.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's still going live. We'll still count it. It might be rolling. We should throw it up on the TV. So, yeah, feel free to call in. 661-515-BETS. That is us. We'll talk through some of your plays and the reason that we do that, not only to talk through and see if we can find some winners, but we actually track to see how callers do throughout the month. And the most wins at the end of the month gets a cash prize. At the end of June, we gave away $700 to the two people that ended up tying for first. Right now, by the way, do we have the leaderboard that's updated after yesterday? You can throw up there in a second, Qwan. We had Mikey, who's your friend, lives in Dallas, started calling in July. Dude never loses. Every pick he makes, he calls in yesterday, he picks a plus 190 moneyline dog in the WNBA just because they're going up against his Dallas Wings locally that he knew stink. He goes with the Liberty. They win it outright. So not only is he sitting 4 wins already in July and on top of the leaderboard, he's plus 1.9 units for that one. So he's actually sitting even higher. That's yesterday's wins on July 5th. Patrick did win with his Twins over on the 10. And Ryan, I believe, went under. We're going to have to confirm. I believe he went under Trevor Rogers' strikeouts. So I think it was a loss. We may have crossed wires there. Ryan will be honest with me. I've spoken to him offline a couple of times. I'm pretty sure his bet was under. But we'll check that. If it was over, and you're right, because I know you were the one taking notes on the side, we'll confirm. But regardless, shout out to Mikey. The dude just starts calling in, and he just gives out winners. Nothing else. That's it. Plus 190, no problem. Easy win for the Liberty. So he's sitting there with 4 wins. Ryan Wood as well. Again, we'll check on the actual. I mean, it's easy. We can go back and actually listen to yesterday's show and find out. But 4.9 units for Mikey, so he's actually in the lead because of that 190 dog. Good work. Patrick, Carlos, Scott, Bob as well. Keep calling in, guys. It's still very early in the month. And we're going to have, I think, at least $500 in the jar each month. We'll give away. Last month, it ended up being $700. I was eating vegan, trying to exercise, and every time I failed, I'd have to put $100 in. This month's a little different. We've tried the Beyonce diet, the lemonade diet, which, by the way, I started yesterday. And it wasn't too bad. I will say, and I sent Qwan a video actually last night. My wife took of them eating dinner and me sitting all alone over on the couch. But I'm more tired today. I think my body knows I haven't eaten anything in a while. And I did something I think that really killed me, which I know when you were doing it, you were working out anyways because you were trying to play football. You're trying to get into the AFL. So when Qwan told me about this, I mean, he dropped 16 pounds in 6 days, he said. He said he guaranteed I couldn't do 2 days. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get through today when it's all said and done. But my mistake two mistakes. One, going to the grocery store to pick something up for my family. And like, I've never seen a bag of cherries right when I walked in look so good. So there was that. The second thing though, I went to the gym last night to shoot around. I've been tired of the gyms have just been so weird since COVID happened. I haven't had a regular routine. I haven't been playing basketball nearly as much. And I finally hired a kid that goes to my church, like a teenager, to rebound for me. And I just shot like hundreds of 3-pointers for an hour last night. And I paid the kid $20. And that wore me out, probably just because I haven't shot that many times in like 2 years. But on top of the fact that I hadn't eaten all day, and then I woke up and I've just woken up way more tired and a little bit sore. So when you do this 500 times, by the way, I had a streak. I made 23 straight threes at one point.
Oh yeah,
23. That's not a joke. People are gonna be like, "What? The fat bearded guy on my screen right now?" 23. It's not that hard to hit a standstill three, but I started getting back in the groove. It's been nice to get back into it.
Who was your comp? Like, who would you compare
Well,
yourself to?
Arvydas Sabonis. It's like not even a question. Like, I mean, I didn't even. It was like half a second. I already gave you the answer. It was Arvydas, man. The way I'm a pretty good passer. I can see the floor. I love to dish. But then when I shoot threes. The more current modern comp would be Nikola Jokic. But
Yeah.
I'm not that good. Arvydas is perfect because he's a little more old school, before his time, and just he wasn't an MVP caliber player. I'm obviously not an MVP caliber player, but I can shoot. So I think Arvydas back in the day would hit a jumper here and there. But really, it was his floor vision, and I loved how the bigs out of the high post making passes and dishing.
I like how much energy you have. Last night when you sent me that video, you weren't as excited and this up.
They cooked up, man. Do you have the video ready? You're gonna play it? Go for it. So they cooked up this nice like Mexican food, beans, rice, some chili verde, tacos, and it was smelling up the place. And I was just sitting there all alone on the couch watching them. But I'll be honest, it's a mental game, and I'm definitely going for 3 days. I know I was going to kind of play it by ear, and I wanted to go for 3. You said I probably can't do 2, or I owe the 500 to the callers for July. I think I'll be able to do 3. I think I'll struggle tomorrow though, but we'll see. Again, if I'm like driving here to the studio and I can't keep my eyes open or something, and I don't feel like I'll call an audible. But I'm going for 3 days. I think
That's
I can
a little
do
more
it.
dangerous than you're letting on.
Well, that's what my dad even said. I was hanging out with them on July 4th, and he's like, well, if you can't drive home or you're not feeling very good, like, call an Uber or something, or just eat something. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think I'll be able to get through today, no problem. And again, we will take your calls, 661-515-BETS. Again, we are on Game Plus Network as well. We're going to have a few breaks throughout the show. But after that, we're going to talk Game 1 of the NBA Finals, my personal thoughts. And honestly, I think a series that Giannis obviously, I mean, it's so cliche and so obvious. Giannis makes a difference. Obviously, he's one of the he's 2-time MVP, one of the best players in the world. But I think the difference in this series is whether or not he can play. He was doubtful yesterday. Then back up in this morning, he actually got relisted as questionable. So he was upgraded. I don't know how you go from questionable to doubtful to questionable. They're trying to sort things out. Maybe they're just playing games with the Phoenix Suns. But if he plays, and if we assumed he was healthy, my personal projections make this essentially a 50-50 series. Bucks a very, very small favorite. And now that he's out, the Suns deserve to be a favorite. And if he doesn't play, or if he tries to and he's not 100%, or he's just unable to play enough minutes, then this should be the Suns series. We'll find out a lot about that tonight. Do you have any early thoughts, real quick, before we hit our first break on the series? Are you just still riding Chris Paul MVP bet Suns? That's your guy.
I think it's gonna be the Suns. I just don't know. We're taking Giannis isn't gonna be 100%, and it's his first time on the stage, and it's not gonna go horribly. It's gonna be Middleton who steps up and has to play out of his mind.
Yeah, like he did against Atlanta, basically, to win 2 of those games. I'm with you. It's sad. You guys tell us. Call us again. We'll take calls after the break on the other side. 661-515-BETS. Who's going to win on the diamond today? And what in the world do we think about Giannis? He's probably not going to play. Do the Bucks even have a shot? If you like the Suns, they're laying 5.5, total up to 219 now. Let us know, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody, to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. I am Preston Johnson, again with my co-host Qwan Young. He's producing over here on the side. Welcome again to the viewers from the Game Plus Network. We have bets of the day from our callers. I know we have at least 3 on the line that have been holding. We appreciate it. We'll patch. I think we're starting with Carlos. Is that right? Carlos, welcome to the show. By the way, I realized as we were going over the leaderboard, Qwan actually did. He's putting up the graphics. We forgot that your daughter picked maybe the easiest winner of the day yesterday. After we talked about how maybe daughters shouldn't be making our bets for us, she said it doesn't matter. The Nationals stink. Bet over 7.5 runs. And the Nationals themselves scored 7. Cruises over. So well done. We'll make sure that's on the board for next time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Here's the question. Did she pick your
Yes,
bet
sir.
for today? Are you riding the hot streak?
She did not.
Okay. So this is your bet. So
She's-
everyone's
she's
listening.
not-
This is not, yeah, okay.
This is not the daughters. I could ask my son, but he's not close to me. So we'll leave it to me. I'm the head of the household, so it's the head of the household bet today.
Good luck.
I'm going with the Cubs.
Okay.
Plus 130. I think.
Yeah. Why is that?
I think they're on a 10-game losing streak. I think, or something like that. They're on some kind of losing streak.
Has it really been
think.
10 games?
Isn't it? I don't know. I know.
I'll check it out.
They
I can
haven't
give you
won.
plus 130. That's the best price I see on the screen right now. So I'll give you
Yeah.
plus 130. So other than the fact that you think they're due after losing 10 in a row, what else do you like about their side?
Nothing really. I mean, Arrieta. I mean, what can you say about this guy? But I just want a little juicy price. Give me some plus money in a
You're-
pick. that I think
You're
is
100%
due.
right. They have lost 10 in a row now. They were 42 and 33. They are now below 500, 42 and 43. I guess that's Chicago for you. I apologize to everyone from Chicago that I know, but I think I said I can give you plus 130, and we'll roll with it against
Cool.
Aaron Nola and the Phillies. Not
All right,
necessarily
man.
someone that I want to bet against, but you do get a little bit of extra juice there. And we wish you luck, man. Thanks for calling, Carlos.
Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow. We'll bring on, is Ryan up next? We got Ryan. Cool, man. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. What do you have for us today? K-prop, first inning prop, something in that realm?
We're not, we got the NBA finals going tonight, so
Ooh.
I think I have an NBA prop for us tonight.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah, go for it.
So we're going Brook Lopez, under 23.5 points, rebounds, assists. I just looked like 5 minutes ago, and minus 113 is still up at DraftKings. I think there might be some minus 120s, minus 125s, but mostly everybody's at 22.5. So I think you got to kind of hurry to get that 23.5 under on Brook Lopez.
It is 22.5 in most spots. If you can grab the 23.5, that's an extra bonus. Do you think outside of, I know you're kind of just, you see sharp action going through accounts or whatever. You've talked about it before, and it's just like generally you want to trust it. You look at some of the market discrepancies and take advantage. Is there anything to the fact that now Brook Lopez is going up against a real center and defensive threat and DeAndre Ayton and just even some wing defenders that the Suns can throw at him that'll help, or are you just basically going with the numbers?
Probably just mainly going with the numbers, but I do think, my own personal opinion, that Holiday and Middleton, whether or not they, accomplish what they're going after, I think they're going to take up a lot of the usage and a lot of the offensive production for Milwaukee. And then if Giannis plays, that's just a bonus because, he's going to want his touches and he's going to need to see the ball at least some, driving Lopez down a little bit further.
Sure, that's fair. Actually, a lot of these numbers are, I would say all of them are basically assuming Giannis does not play. And if he does get some run, then you're in really good shape on that Lopez number. Thanks for the call, Ryan. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds.
We had one more caller. Was it Kyle that was on? All right, Kyle, welcome to Last Word Cheetah, man. You are up next. What do you got for us tonight?
Hey, Preston. I'm taking the Diamondbacks as a short favorite tonight. It's mainly kind of a fade against John Gray and the Rockies, especially being on the road. John Gray on the road is his ERA is 2 runs higher compared to pitching at home.
Isn't that
so
weird
he
because
faced
he
the
pitches
Diamondbacks
for the
3 times
Rockies in Colorado?
Oh yeah, no. I feel bad, but at the same time we suck, and I know you talked to Bob about it. I think with his Mariners or something, however long ago that was.
Yeah.
It's like I want us to lose. I'm on the flip side. I want us to lose out. We need to get our management out of here. But anyway, so Rockies, I read a trend today. Rockies in their first game on the road after playing at home, the starting pitchers that they face have a 1.21 ERA in 52 and a third innings pitched. 7 different starters. So after we go away from home, that first game we cannot hit. On the flip side, Merrill Kelly's been pitching well lately. The past 3 games, he's beat the Brewers, Padres, and Giants. So this is just mainly a fade against the Rockies and John Gray.
Okay, I don't hate it. I think in general the market was underpricing Arizona for a while. I know there was someone else that took the D-backs a few days ago as well against the Giants that panned out. I'm not sure. I know 52 and a third, I think he said, innings is. It seems like a big enough sample. I'm not sure it is. I wouldn't be betting that trend personally just because of that. But maybe there is something to Colorado in their first game leaving home. They've just, whatever it may be, not as good. But if it's, I think more concretely is, hey, you're fading Gray. He hasn't pitched nearly as well away from Coors. Like, you just got to roll with it. So, yeah, we'll lock you in at minus 127, by the way. That's the best price I see here on the screen. D-backs minus 127. Thanks, Kyle.
Sounds good.
Yep, take it easy.
I got to stop cutting them off when they say
I think he was saying have a good day. He was trying to be nice, trying to be cordial.
Maybe I don't want you to have a good day. Maybe I want you
You
to
probably don't. You want me to fail, and
we're trying to get
only got till tomorrow morning. All right, we have more on the line, right?
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more minutes till break. We'll take at least one more. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. This is Preston. Who are we talking with?
Yo, it's Mike from Dallas.
Oh no, we had the king. Dude, I gave you a shout out on Twitter. Like, you just haven't missed all month. Then you hit the nearly 2-1 dog. Everybody tune in, listen up right now. Mikey doesn't lose. What do you got for us today?
Well, man, July my month. My birthday is on the 12th, so it's nice to be on the heater.
Oh, there we go.
Going into that. First off, I want to say I did do the lemonade diet. Qwan actually introduced me to it back in 2014. The best advice I can give you is don't smell food. That was the only time it was tough.
Don't smell food.
The commercials thing is a real thing too, but don't smell food. I was smelling food at work, and that was the toughest part. But I did it 7 days, and I lost 7 pounds. So,
all right, that's good. I have a lot more weight to lose than you probably did, so I'm hoping I can get as far as I go and can drop at least 7. I appreciate the advice, though, actually, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, I'll be helpful. I'll grab this thing from the grocery store for my family so they can make food later.
Yeah, you can do it,
I saw all the produce, like this bag of cherries. I swear, like they're like the yellow ones with a little bit of red and purple on them. I was like, holy cow, have I ever had these golden cherries before? Kiwis next to them looked great. Anyway, yeah, it definitely is psychological.
Yeah, definitely. But I think you could do it, man. You're a push through. I'm fading Qwan. I know Qwan don't think
That's right. Everyone just fade whatever Qwan says. Guarantee you can't do 2 days. Fade. All right, Mikey, tell us what you like on the diamond, I guess, or are you going NBA?
We back to NBA tonight. I'm going Phoenix Suns -2 first quarter. Pretty much -110 everywhere.
Yep.
I think the Suns gonna come out. Looking back through the playoffs at home, they've won or tied pretty much every quarter. They've taken a couple L's. They got blew out in one quarter at home against the Clippers, but I like them to come out tonight. Probably have like a 5-point lead even, but I got them covering 2 points in the first quarter.
Cool. Thanks for the call, Mikey. We got to head to a break, so we're going to cut you off there. By the way, I can give you -1.5 at Westgate if you're shopping around first quarter for the Suns.
Okay.
You ready to hit the break? We have a few more callers. Hang on. We'll be back on the other side. 661-515-BETS. This is Last Word Cheetah brought to you by Bets TV. Welcome back to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. We had some callers that were hanging on the line. They're going to be calling back in a little bit. We're going to get to more. We have Sarab, by the way, who was the person that called in yesterday, went Euro Cup. Italy is up 1-0. I was just checking 65th minute. So they're up on Spain. Looking good there. He also had plus money. I think we got him as high as like plus 154 there. So I hope he cashes. First, we got to talk Qwan fades. We got a few more minutes. It's the best, my favorite segment of the day, to be completely honest. It's free money. What do you like today?
Hold on. Let's cut that nonsense out because last night.
Hold on.
Buzzer,
Hold on.
It counts. Listen, if you guys are going to Qwan fade and I pick some bull and it will happen and the fade doesn't fade itself.
It counts for sure because you went with Montreal. But the best part is it isn't nonsense. The fade actually was compounded because you tried to do everyone a solid and you said you would not pick Tampa Bay because everyone was going Tampa Bay. And so you intentionally said, I'll take Montreal and let everyone on the Lightning cash this game 4 bet. But the gambling gods knew that you did that. And so the fade of your fade actually went reverse, and that's why Montreal ended up winning. So yes, your record, you get to pad your stats, but ultimately you wanted to lose that bet for the sake of everyone else, which is why you actually won. Does that make sense?
It's fadeception.
Fadeception, that worked. It took me like 2 seconds, but I got it. Like kind of like Inception, but Qwan fading, it's fadeception. All right.
If you fade the fade, the fade will fade itself.
Actually, that's pretty like close to a dad joke, but not quite. Somewhere in between. It wasn't bad, though. I'll give it to you. Real quick, we got a couple more minutes before our next break. You going NBA, you sticking to Chris Paul and just locking that in, or do you have something else you want to play and add to the fade list?
We're going NBA. So
okay.
I want to talk about the game tonight. No Giannis, no problem. Like I said, the key here is this is Chris Paul's show. Like, everybody's going to be Chris Paul's a leader. Year 16, Chris Paul. Yep. Chris Paul dishing to Devin Booker. Chris Paul setting up DeAndre Ayton. Like, he's the veteran. It's his first finals. He's going to lead. Who do you have on Milwaukee with the same pedigree? Most of those guys, this is their first finals. I mean, just think about it. Lopez, I'm pretty sure Lopez has been close to this deep. I don't remember a finals, but like you're talking veteran Jay Crowder, if I can recall, has been in this position or close to this.
The Heat last year in the bubble.
Yeah, there we go. So I mean, veteran leadership. Like, I don't see a hobbled Giannis doing much once he comes back, if he comes back, and when he does come back, it's not like Giannis was world beater. One-on-one win you a game in clutch situations. So it's going to be an adjustment for Milwaukee to come back. And I don't know what the betting market or any of that is dictating, but I'm going Suns. Tomorrow we'll do something more definitive. I want to listen to you talk through the bets before I give you an actual pick.
Okay. I will talk about them later. I know we have to hit a break here soon. I think there is an interesting dynamic, not just as obvious as Giannis playing or not. I do think veteran leadership, sure, Chris Paul, veteran, of course. But, I mean, he hasn't been in the finals either. I mean, a lot of the Middleton, Drew Holiday, I mean, a lot of the guys, yes, of course, this is their first finals. That's kind of the story of this NBA finals. But we're not, I don't know. I'm not necessarily trusting Chris Paul for his veteran leadership and experience in the finals because he hasn't actually been in the finals yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you really want to go Jay Crowder in the bubble as their finals experience, like I'll give you that one. But I don't think anybody else has been there. So I think it's pretty much new for everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, 16 years in the NBA, you're going to know when and where you can get a bucket, how you can get a bucket, how can you get to your spots. I know it's his first time, but it's not his first time. It's his first time on the stage, but he's a big-time player, man. You saw how he did in Game 6. Like, the run he went on by himself, I think he wants it. And basketball has been weird for the last year and a half or two, so I think that this is finally the time that he gets over the hump himself.
So that's good for your MVP plus 140 for the finals. I'm not sure if you're planning on laying 5.5 points with the Suns. We'll talk more about it after the break. This is Last Word Cheetah. We're also going to talk SEC. We're going to continue with our breakdown, my 4th, 5th, and 6th ranked teams within the conference. We'll get to those later. Thank you, everybody, and stay tuned. Going to dive into the SEC this segment. I know we had callers that were on hold. They're going to hit us back right after this. Yesterday, we talked to my top 3 teams in the SEC. Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M. Nothing too surprising. I like the Georgia price at plus 800 to win it all. That was one that I recommended, as well as plus 4 against Clemson in week 1. If you can get the plus 4 or even at 3.5. Anything above the key number of 3 on the Georgia side, I'm fairly bullish that their offense improves significantly behind JT Daniels, similar to what we saw down the stretch last year. Nothing too much to bet with A&M and Alabama. My numbers and projections line up pretty similarly. I do think if you want to buy some of the Miami hype, which I don't necessarily do, and I think there are some question marks with Derek King, but you can get 17.5 plus 17.5 on the Hurricanes in week 1 against Alabama. My projection 16. I anticipate that'll come down, especially if the Miami hype train keeps driving. So those are the first sure 2 plays on Georgia I like. If you like Miami some, I think that's fine. I can't argue against the play, getting the hook on a 17, which is a relatively key number in that range. Today, we're going to start. Let me pull up my sheet. We got LSU. They're my number 9 rated team in the country, a team that was 5-5 last year. Look, nearly outside the top 100 in EPA on offense and defense. Success rate, they graded out a little better offensively, but defensively outside the top 100. They play a tough schedule, obviously, in the SEC. They went from winning it all to being a 500 team. You don't see drop-offs like that very often. Not only Joe Burrow and the receiving and a lot of the weapons, Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well, out of the backfield, defensive players, but then they also lost their offensive coordinator. Was it Joe Brady, I believe is his name, who then went on to the NFL to start helping call plays for the Panthers with Matt Rule. So he was a big, I think, reason their offense really took off under Joe Burrow, and they ended up winning it all. They lose him. I anticipate that their ultimate projection is somewhere in the middle. For some context, Phil Steele has them his 9th best team as well in the country. PFF, who did a college football preview this year, breaking down every team, they have them number 7. And I noticed PFF's rankings cater more on priors and valuing recruiting ranks and that type of thing. So a team like LSU, who's constantly recruiting near the top of the country, I think they're going to have them rated a little bit higher. So not surprised to see them at 7. I'm projected 8.3 wins on average. Their line's 8.5. I don't think there's anything to be had on the LSU side ultimately. I do think they're going to be better, and people see an 8.5 and like, wow, this team was 5-5 and a mess after Joe Burrow. Look, they're somewhere in between there. They're not going to be a team that's competing for a national championship, most likely not. But they're definitely better than a 5-5, 500 squad. So even in the SEC with I think the strength of schedule they project to face is, I think I have it at 12. We'll move on to the next. This one's probably pretty straightforward then if you know my top 4. It's Florida. They come in at number 12 for me. But there's quite a differentiating opinion, I will say, for Florida with Phil Steele. He has them number 24. I'm not sure if Phil Steele has something like he's friends with Kyle Trask. They lose Trask. I don't know what he sees. I think Dan Mullen is just an offensive genius and kind of just figures it out regardless. They were 13th in EPA offensively last year, 7th in success rate. The defense really struggled, which is interesting because Florida for years had stingy defenses and couldn't score. Now they've kind of reversed the playbook. And I will say returning production-wise, I know we're putting that up there. LSU's pretty high up because they were a younger team last year. Florida loses a lot. I will say, in general, returning production as a whole this season across the entire country is up a ton because of the rule for an extra year of eligibility that the NCAA gave basically anybody that wanted it. And so you have teams like 55% returning production generally wouldn't be too bad, maybe a slightly under average, but now you have a team like Florida who only brings back 55%, and they're outside the top 100 relative to experience in their returning projection. So for me, I project 8.9 wins. I do think they're about a 9-win team. Can you throw up real quick the prices that we have on Florida, LSU, and then for those that are paying attention, Ole Miss will be my next team. 9 wins is right where the market is on their season win total. It isn't even really juiced one way or the other. I think it's spot on, and I don't think it's worth betting national title. And I love Georgia. There's no chance I'm firing on their foe in the East Division on the conference at 10-1. But the team I'm most high on, I think most people will have Auburn as their top 6 team. If you're going to do a top 6 in the SEC, I love Ole Miss. I love Lane Kiffin. I love Matt Corral. I love John Rhys Plumlee, by the way, who was the other quarterback who played before Lane Kiffin got there, and he runs some gadget plays, and now he's been playing receiver. But they bring back 81% of their returning production, which, again, that's an incredibly high number, and it's only the 22nd highest in the country this year, and that's because everyone's bringing back a lot of extra players, eligibility, extra season for everybody. Last year, first year under Kiffin, Matt Corral takes over, 11th in EPA, 20th in success rate. They play a tough schedule. I get it, but the numbers Matt Corral put up were just absolutely insane. He was a little inconsistent. I believe there was a game in there last year. He had like a 7-interception game, but he can run the football as well, so he'll get those extra touchdowns on the ground, the extra 4th downs, 3rd downs they need to convert. And second year, Lane Kiffin, I think the defense, can you put that back up real quick one more time? It was 125th, I think, in defense and success rate, yeah, and 120th in EPA. Like, they were brutal. Like, they can't be worse than that. And they do bring back a lot. And they got a transfer from Maryland, a 3-year starter out of Maryland at linebacker. Chase Campbell, I believe is his name. He'll be starting for linebacker, can help Ole Miss. Like, if they just can't be much worse on that side, say they even get to being an average defense in the country, and then they're still a top 10-ish offense, then I think there's a lot of upside to Ole Miss. On average, I think the 7.5 wins is pretty fair. But the distribution of results for this team, I think, is pretty wide, which is why the only Heisman bet I've made all year, which was about a month ago, I told one of the guys I work with to grab it. Maybe 6 weeks ago now. It's weird. Time's weird these days. Matt Corral was 50-1 to win the Heisman. So I know we had a little NA down there. I'm not sure which books we were quoting. You can definitely get Matt Corral, but I believe it's 30-1, 25-1 range. I do think it's one of those where I think Ole Miss gets to 9 or 10 wins enough with their schedule that they can at least be in the conversation. And then his stats will certainly be there, but can they beat Louisville in an opener? For sure. Austin Peay, Tulane. Alabama, who was the one team that gave Alabama the most trouble last year? Do you remember? It was a back-and-forth game against Ole Miss. It was like a 49-42 final. It was basically whoever had the ball last wins, and Alabama had the ball last. And then I think maybe Ole Miss just ran out of time at the end. But that was I mean, and I believe, I'm trying to remember if it was home or away. I don't recall. But they'll have a game against Alabama, whether they win or lose. But then it's like Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, Liberty, A&M, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. I think they can find a way to 9 and 10 wins often enough that a 50-1 shot, or even in the 30s, if you can get 30-1 range on Matt Corral to win Heisman, his numbers are just going to be out of this world. So that's where I'm going with Ole Miss. If you can find kind of a higher variance play. They're probably not going to win the conference. They're certainly not winning a national championship. But how do you bet on them maybe being a 9 or 10 win team? You bet on Matt Corral to win the Heisman. I think he has a shot. I've been right before in the past on some longer shots. I've been wrong before. It is a longer shot, but I think, again, it's a quarterback award. We talked about it, running backs basically out with Isaiah Spiller and A&M yesterday. I'm going with that. Florida, LSU, and Ole Miss, those are our 3 breakdowns for today. I think we're ready to hit the break soon. Call back. I know we had Patrick, Sarab, maybe one other that were on hold. Give us a call back in the next segment. We'll go through your bets for today. We'll get you on the leaderboard, a chance to win some cash in July. And we'll talk a little more Bucs Suns game 1 tonight on Last Word Cheetah. Preston Johnson alongside Qwan Young. We are going to be taking your calls this segment. I know we had a few that gave us a call back over the break. Who we starting with first? You know who's up? We got Bob. Bob from Washington, I believe, calling in. Welcome to the show, man. What do you got for us today?
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, excited for the basketball game tonight, but I'm going to bet a baseball game.
All right.
It's going to be my hometown Mariners.
Oh, no.
Facing the Yankees. You might have heard of them. The Yankees are favored, but can I do this? Can I bet the Mariners to win and the over?
Ooh, all right. Let me pull up a little parlay calculator for you.
I've been hoping for a parlay. We haven't gotten a parlay since everybody.
Only the last day of June, everyone fired parlays to try to win. So here, let me do this. I'll do a little price shopping for you. You want to go Mariners? I can give you, let's see, plus 152 and over 9.5 at minus 110. Does that work for you?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to risk 100 at that price, or I should say those prices, it pays plus 381. All right, so Mariners to win and the over 9.5 plus 381. He's taking a shot, boys and girls. Tell us why you like both of those, I guess.
Well, okay, you see the pitchers on the mound tonight. Neither one's really solid. Justice Sheffield for the Mariners. I think he's got about a 6 ERA, and then Jameson Tyone, I'm not even sure how you say his name. I think he's been struggling. He's really just kind of up and down, and I'm hoping this is one of those down ones. The poor guy's had Tommy John surgery, so feel bad for him, but rooting for my Mariners to hit him.
Okay. I'm not against it. By the way, Jameson's ERA 5.43. His underlying metrics, like his xFIP, is 4.75. 4.5. His FIP is 4.75. He Ks nearly 10 per 9. He walks a ton of guys. So he's kind of just someone that's lost control, maybe a little bit of bad luck when it comes to BABIP, but it's a fine fade and you're getting nearly 4-1. I actually like it. I think we need more kind of correlated parlays like this that we can throw in. It's not necessarily correlated. It's the underdog on the over, but if he thinks the Mariners are going to blast him, why not parlay it? I like it, man. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, sir.
By the way, poor Sarab. I'm not sure if he's called back in, but Spain just tied it up. It's 1-1 in the 85th.
That's probably why.
I'll blame myself. He probably hasn't called back. Poor guy couldn't wait to brag about it. He calls in and we're like, oh, we got to go to a break and then talk SEC. Please call back in 15 minutes, and who knows, he's under a pillow somewhere. I know we do have someone else on. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. This is Preston. Who are we talking to?
Hey, Preston. It's Patrick from St. Louis.
Excellent. Nice call again on another Twins over. Well done.
Well, you know what? You got to go back to what works for you, I guess. And actually, Bob, one of his plays was the over, which that was one of the ones that I was thinking about. So I'm going to go with the other one. I'm going to go with the A's first 5. And again, I mean, pushes do me no good. So I'm going to go the 3-way line. I saw it at 165 on FanDuel. And I mean, this is just kind of a value play for me. Bassett has been just as good as Framber Valdez. And it's a little scary going against the Astros, especially with Brantley Alvarez and Tucker back in the lineup, which kind of bumps me out today. But it's just a value play for me. I just don't think the A's, even at the 2-way line, they were plus 130. I would put it closer to plus 110, plus 115. So not a play I strongly like, but probably the best one I have today.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, and I believe it's generally the smart decision to not go with the same play someone else is on if you're trying to kind of separate yourself from the pack with the call-ins and the leaderboard cash. So I'll roll with it. I like it. I can give you said it was what on the 3-way, plus 165?
Yeah, I saw 165 at FanDuel.
Cool. I'll double check it, but obviously trust you. I don't have FanDuel up in front of me on the 3-way, but I'll double check it. We'll lock you in for that. I appreciate the call, Patrick. Good luck.
All right. See you guys.
We have anyone else that's been calling? So Rob, he's definitely struggling. Oh, poor guy.
You ruined it.
I said, he's looking good. Italy's up 1-0 in the 65th. And I haven't checked yet because I only looked at the 65th and then I looked in the 85th.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling it was probably like right after I said it in like the 66th or 67th, but like it has to have been. I just totally put it into the whatever space. Do you want to roll your little Texans rundown? I know we want to go a little NFL. We got a couple minutes. You put something together. I know we rapped about the Texans a couple weeks back. I kind of wanted to go over.
We actually got Sarab calling in.
He is calling now. He's around. I will wait on the Texans. Sarab, we got to talk to you, man. I am so sorry about jinxing Italia. Tell us, 1, how you're feeling, and then 2, if you have anything else you want to add to today's card.
I'm a little mad right now.
We had a feeling.
Even a little after that 10 in the last 10 minutes, that damn goal. Anyway, man, tonight I'm gonna go back to the well with my first quarter overs in the NBA because apparently those are the only plays I can win. So
let me pull up real quick, find the number I can give you. I have my screen's on the wrong sport. Let's see. First quarter for the NBA total, I can give you 53.5 minus 111. I'll give you 53.5 on that. Any reason you like it other than just
that works?
You generally go first quarter overs. I know that's kind of been your thing. Scoring early slows down in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's about it, man. I'm just kind of steaming on this Italy play, so I'm going to
no problem
tonight.
No problem, man. I'm glad you got this one in.
Guys.
Good luck with Italy. I'm hoping the final minute or two something nice can happen. Maybe some added time. Take it easy.
Hopefully, man. You too, have one.
All right, you want to roll the Texans tape? We got 2 minutes. I think we should. 2.5 minutes, really.
We can roll it.
Yeah, let's see what Qwan thinks about the Houston Texans.
What's up, everybody? I'm DeQuan Young, and today I'm here to talk to you about NFL futures. Now, if you're an experienced bettor, you already know what a futures bet is. But if you're a casual or you're just getting into betting like me, let me break it down for you. A futures bet is just a bet on an event that will take place in the future. Simple enough, right? Now today, we're going to talk about futures bets for the Houston Texans. What a roller coaster offseason for the Houston Texans. a team who look to be one of the powerhouses in the AFC for the foreseeable future. Now that team looks to have one foot in the grave after a cultural reset. Last year, the Texans put together the worst season since drafting Deshaun Watson. And the mass exodus of key players like J.J. Watt and organizational figures have led people to believe this team's new cultural reset won't lead to much success. The offseason hasn't been kind to Deshaun Watson either. After he demanded a trade, he ran into some off-the-field issues that has odds makers believing he'll miss some time on the field. The Texans opened as 2.5-point underdogs to the Jags, who finished just 1-15 a year ago, becoming the first team to be an underdog to that year's first overall pick since the 49ers in 2016. So, if you're looking to make some futures bets on the Houston Texans, here are some of the prices. Now tomorrow we'll be talking about the Detroit Lions. I'm Qwan, and I'll see you tomorrow for more NFL futures.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a few more minutes to wrap this up. We just watched Qwan's delicate performance talking through the Houston Texans' dismal season last year, some other things. I know you're extremely bearish Houston this year, and I made an argument when we talked about it last week on the show. Like, you can get an over 4 wins. It's just really hard, especially with an extra game this season, to go 3-14 or worse. Tyrod Taylor, by the way, I saw that key addition shout out. Some love for me. I was like, look, he had a great season with the Bills, or a couple of them, where they were about 500. He led them to the playoffs one year, and his top 3 receivers, 2 of them were the tight ends, like Charles Clay, and then I don't even remember the name of the receiver that was this. That was second.
Was it
but
Benjamin
no one
before he got
Kelvin
hurt?
Benjamin got hurt after a few games in, and it was ugly. So it was, I think, their leading receiver had 500 receiving yards, and it was Charles Clay. And Tyrod Taylor still made that little playoff run. So I'm a little more optimistic than you are, but well done. I think people could sense your dismay for talking Lions later too, by the way, because he is from Detroit. All right, we're going to leave you with the last word. It is Suns Bucks. It is game 1. I've been kind of putting it off. I knew it was going to be the last word. It's my favorite bet today. And it's a Bucks team total under 107. I think that's the play. Whether Giannis plays or not, I'm least worried about that. I think the relative difference defensively for what the Bucks have been seeing between the Hawks, who are just not an elite defensive team regardless, and their best one-on-one defender, DeAndre Hunter, didn't even play in this series. Even the Nets, everybody talked about the Brooklyn Nets, Qwan, all year. Are they going to be able to play defense in the playoffs? they actually looked pretty competent defensively against the Bucks. And now you don't have Giannis, most likely. And now you're going up against a Suns team that definitely grades out way better defensively. They're number one among the teams in the playoffs protecting the rim. They also are one of the best teams in the entire league limiting transition opportunities, which, what do the Bucks do? They're one of the best at creating transition opportunities. And if they don't have Giannis, then a lot of those transition opportunities go out the bag. And the Suns just defend it well regardless. So I'm struggling to find, and again, this is someone that was pro Bucks game 5 and 6 against the Hawks. Without Giannis, I thought they could do enough, but they obviously aren't shooting the 3 ball as well. Now they're going up against a better defense. I just don't see Middleton being able to do his stuff one-on-one against the likes of Mikal Bridges, Torrey Craig, who shut down Paul George in that closeout of the Western Conference Finals, even Chris Paul. And then DeAndre Ayton's just turned into this awesome switchable big out to the three-point line, defending the rim. I like under 107. That's the best. You can go 106.5 as well. Those are the 2 prices in the market. But that is the last word. I'm going Bucks under the points. It's going to be a slower game as well when it's Phoenix. Chris Paul, game 1. You didn't want to lock anything in for Qwan fades. I know you were waiting on it. You heard my thoughts about the general sentiments. I know you liked the Suns. Tell us, are you laying the 5.5? Are you locking it in for today?
Suns minus 5.5. And
oh no,
can I go money line? Would that be?
Well, they're the favorites.
They're
so,
the favorite.
Yeah, I mean you have to lay a price.
Yeah.
Probably. Let me pull it up. -2.
What do we have on the
or
graphic?
something like that.
-225 for PointsBet. You know, it's fun kind of looking at this stuff now because, you know, being around you for the last month or two, I'm starting to understand it more. And when you say -225, I actually know that they're favored, which was an issue for at least 34 years of my life.
That's okay. We've at least figured that part out. Hold on. How old are you?
34.
Okay. That's not that bad.
No. What's bad?
I don't know. I'm getting old too, but we're the same age. So I just wanted to make sure like I wasn't like a grandpa yet or anything, but we're both safe. Yeah. I was born in 87.
I got like 9 gray hairs in this afro. Every time I pick it out, one just shows up randomly.
Another one pops
right
up.
Here.
The same gods that somehow willed the Montreal Canadiens into a win are giving you a gray hair every time you pull one out. I can get behind that. Hey, man, good show today. Nice work on the Texans. We appreciate the callers as usual. I think we had 6 or 7. Hopefully we have some winners. I haven't looked at the updated score of Italy, Spain, but I'm guessing they're still in the extra time. So, Rob, good luck, my man. We're going Bucks under the 107. Quan's laying it with the Suns, the -5.5 points. He also likes Chris Paul to be NBA Finals MVP, +140 to +160 I've seen in the market. And I think that's it for current bets we have. And if you missed it, check it out later. We'll be posting clips of the SEC breakdown. I went through my 4th, 5th, and 6th ranked teams in the conference. That is LSU, Florida, and Ole Miss. So we'll get through some of those. I also went through yesterday, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas A&M. Couple bets to be made already, some futures. We're going to really dig in as the summer progresses into NFL from Qwan, college football from me. Any last thoughts before we wrap up the show today?
At what point tonight are you going to eat food?
I'm not. I'm doing it, man. I got this. I really have felt pretty at ease. I've been pretty calm. I'm going to figure it out. And I got callers and people. I got the crowd behind me. I'm amped. I'm probably going to get hungry. Dinner will be the toughest. And like before bed will be tough, but I think
you're going to go over. If you get past day 2, will you continue?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do 3 days. I think I can do it. People can tune in tomorrow, see how distraught I look, but I'm going to figure it out. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. This is Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. I am Preston Johnson, Qwan Young. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.